Welcome to ScienceCover.com. First, complete the Do Now task. Pause the video. Let's check our answers to the Do Now task. Infrared light travels at 300 million meters per second. Which of these is not transported by infrared particles? What type of objects emit infrared? All objects. Which is the best reflector of infrared light? Silver. Which is the best absorber of infrared light? Matte black. What type of cube can be filled with water to investigate the emitted infrared? That's a Leslie cube. Which type is the best emitter for infrared light? That would be matte black. Which of these is not a use for infrared light? Medical imaging. If an object is heated to 800 Kelvin, what will happen? It glows red. If an object is heated to 5000 Kelvin, what will happen? It should glow white. Today we will look at renewable energy. What is renewable energy and the types of renewable energy, the advantages and disadvantages of the different types of renewable energy. A renewable energy source is one that can be replenished as it is being used. This means we can easily make or obtain more of the energy source as we use it. No matter how much a wind turbine rotates, the wind will continue to blow. A river will still flow after rotating a water wheel, and the sun emits more light after a solar panel has absorbed its rays. These are all examples of renewable fuels. They will not run out and their sources are replenished. Wood is classed as a renewable energy source. This is because we may cut down the trees and use the wood as a fuel. However, we can plant and grow new trees in their place. This means that it is replenishable and therefore renewable. Non-renewable fuels like coal, oil and gas are not replenishable. There is no more of these fuels being created, so when we burn these, they are gone. This means that eventually coal, oil and gas will run out. Now pause the video and complete task 1. Let's check our answers to task 1. The definition of a renewable source. A renewable energy source is a source that can be replenished as it is used. Why is wood classed as a renewable resource, even though we can burn a piece of wood one time? This is because new trees can be planted and grown as the current trees are being cleared and used as a fuel. If managed correctly, wood can be replenished. Sort these into renewable energy sources and non-renewable energy sources. Renewable energy sources are wind, tidal, geothermal, water wheel, solar, biofuels, wave power, hydroelectric dam. And the non-renewables are nuclear, oil power, coal power, and gas. Use the next section of the video to complete task 2, making a note of the advantages and disadvantages of the different energy types. Let's start by looking at wind power. Wind power is renewable. It is a source of free energy. There's no emissions of carbon dioxide, and there's no nitrogen dioxide or sulfur dioxide emissions. So this doesn't cause climate change and it doesn't cause acid rain. The disadvantages are that it's unreliable, in that it's unpredictable in how much wind is going to blow at a particular time. And also birds may fly into the turbines and this can kill the birds. A hydroelectric water wheel is a renewable energy source. It's a source of free energy. Again, there's no carbon dioxide emissions and no nitrogen or sulfur dioxide emissions, which means that there's no climate change and no acid rain. However, this again is unreliable, as it will produce less energy in times of low rainfall, and it may harm fish. And to use this kind of water wheel, the building that you're working at would have to be built close to a river or a stream. A hydroelectric dam is a large dam with a large man-made lake behind it, and this allows us to control the flow of water so we can release the water when we need to. And this means that we can, at the click of a button, allow the water to flow and create us energy straight away. So that means that this can be turned on and off at the push of a button. It's a renewable energy source, and obviously the water falls from the sky, so it's free to use. There's no carbon dioxide emissions, there's no nitrogen dioxide or sulfur dioxide emissions, so again this does not cause climate change and it does not cause acid rain. The disadvantage of this kind of energy is that in times of low rainfall, the level of water in the dam may drop, and that will make it unreliable. Also, we might prevent fish from moving up and downstream, which means that they can't reach their breeding sites, and also it could harm or kill the fish. And the large man-made lake will flood large areas of land, destroying animal habitats. Wave power is another renewable energy resource. Again, the waves are caused by the wind, so it's a source of free energy for us. There's no carbon dioxide emissions, no nitrogen dioxide emissions, no sulfur dioxide emissions. The disadvantage in this case is that we don't get large amounts of energy produced, and it's unpredictable because the size of the waves depends on the strength of the wind and therefore the weather conditions. We are able to harness the power of the moving tide to try to produce energy. So the tide will come in and out twice a day, and that means that we can allow that moving water to spin turbines, which can create energy for us. It's a renewable energy source, it's a free energy source, there's no carbon dioxide emissions, no nitrogen dioxide emissions, no sulfur dioxide emissions, but tidal is very, very expensive to set up. It may harm or kill fish, and it can only really be built in places with large tidal shifts. We can absorb the sun's light using solar panels. Now this again is another renewable energy source, and it's a source of free energy. There's no carbon dioxide emissions, no nitrogen dioxide emissions, no sulfur dioxide emissions. However, solar power is unreliable as we will produce far less energy on cloudy days, and when the sun sets in the evening, we will produce no energy throughout the entire night. We also produce less energy in the winter months where the days are shorter, but this is when demand is highest for electricity. Geothermal energy involves us pumping water down below the Earth's surface to hot or magma rocks below the surface, and then bringing that water back as warm water or steam. Now, the advantages of this is that it's renewable, the energy source is free, and again, we're not getting any carbon dioxide emissions. The disadvantage is that it needs to be built in an area with volcanic activity. Well, biofuel is made from an organic material that's being allowed to decay and break down, and it produces gases, and then we can burn the gases. Now, this is what we call carbon neutral, because if we take a plant, the plant will pull carbon dioxide out of the air, and then when that plant decays and breaks down and we burn either the plant or the gases coming off the plant, the carbon dioxide we create is just the amount that was taken out of the air originally. So we're not adding more carbon to the air than was there before the plant was grown, and that makes it carbon neutral. And it's also a renewable fuel, but the disadvantage of this is that it is putting carbon dioxide back into the air. We said that wood was a renewable fuel. The advantage of this is that therefore it is renewable. The disadvantage is that land clearances can cause damage to animal habitats. We know deforestation can lead to soil erosion, and that it takes time for new trees to grow in the place of the ones that we've cut down. Now pause the video and complete task 3 and task 4. Let's check our answers to task 3. Which type of energy source could be built at each of the following locations and why? A cold, cloudy and windy county with heavy rainfall and large rivers looking to replace an aging fossil fuel power station with new sources. Hydroelectric dams would be a good choice for this one, as they produce large quantities of energy and the amount of electricity won't vary by large amounts, so they're perfect for replacing the fossil fuel power stations. A small cloudy country with low temperatures causing much ice and glaciers, geologically active in the region, causing volcanic eruptions at times. This sounds like a geothermal solution. So it's a geologically active, so we can get heat from the ground, and we know that the rivers would be frozen, so it's probably best to steer clear from them. A very sunny area with large river and large tidal shift, a nearby city population creates a high demand for electricity throughout the year. We could place solar panels in the region, but solar panels won't meet the high demand for electricity, so we're probably best turning to tidal or hydroelectric. A lone house in the forest too far to be connected to the electric grid. Well, for this one, solar would be difficult because the sun's light will be blocked by the trees. Also, the trees might block the wind, so we couldn't use wind power. So that we might turn to a wood burning boiler here, where we could use the actual wood from the forestry area. Let's check our answer to task 4. How long will it take for the savings made on the solar panel to pay for the cost of installing the solar panel? Well, the initial cost was £800 and we're saving £200 a year, so it'll take 4 years to pay for itself. How long will it take for the savings made on the wind turbine to pay for the cost of installing the wind turbine? The initial cost was £2,000 and the savings were £400 per year, so that means it'll take 5 years to pay for itself. Farmer's son says the oil burner will have paid for itself in 6 months, so from that point on we will be making profit. Is he correct? He's incorrect, because although the initial cost will have been paid off, there's a running cost, which is much higher than the money saved per year, so the farmer will actually be losing money. Question 4. The farmer is planning to run his farm from the energy source for the next 10 years and wishes for the energy source to be environmentally friendly. Suggest which fuel source would be the best investment and why. He should invest in the wind turbines, as over a 10-year period the solar panels will save £2,000 but have an £800 installation cost, so that would result in a £1,200 saving. The oil burner will save him £4,000 but cost £5,000 to run and has a £200 installation cost, so he'll make a loss of £1,200. The wind turbine will save £4,000 over the 10 years but costs £2,000 to install, resulting in the total saving of £2,000. So over the 10-year period, the wind turbine will save the most money. Wind turbines and solar panels produce no waste gases, and he wants this to be environmentally friendly. Oil burners produce CO2, which might lead to climate change, and the oil may contain sulfur and nitrogen when burned, which could lead to acid rain.